When you open up iMovie, the first thing you're going to do is hit Create Project. So it's a little box with the plus sign in it. You're then going to either choose to do a movie or a trailer. So for this purpose, we're going to actually use it for a movie. Once you've selected movie, this should open up all of your photos and videos that are on your device. You can just click which ones you want to include in your movie. The little blue circle with the little check mark should show up that you've selected it. And then once you have selected them, hit Create Movie at the bottom, and it will put them all into iMovie for your editing. The little white line is really important for you to note because that's going to be kind of where you're at in your movie when you're editing. So if you slide that white line, that's going to be what part of your film is going to show up at the top part. It's really important for some further editing I'm going to show you later called splitting, but that's just something to note for now. I also want to make sure to point out the plus sign on the left side of your screen. This is going to be how you add further things to your video that you haven't already uploaded into iMovie. Some of the things you might want to add to your project that you're working on would be more videos or photos. So as you can see, if you click on video or photos, it does bring up your photos and videos from your own device. So you can add those in there to continue editing your project. One of the other things is that you can add to your video would be audio. You can add in soundtracks or sound effects or your own music. One thing I really like about iMovie is that they do have these soundtracks, which are actually royalty-free music. So you don't have to worry about getting permission from an owner to include those in your videos. They have them with lots of different topics, so like chill and retro and playful and extreme action. Some of my favorite are the theme musics at the bottom. They kind of usually are pretty upbeat, and so I like that. When you finally find a song that you do like, all you have to do is click on the song, the little plus sign will appear. You click on that plus sign, and it'll be added right underneath all of your video clips that you've already included in your iMovie. One of the things you can do when you are editing your video is actually rearrange where the video clips fall. And so all you have to do that is actually click and hold onto the image that you want to move and then drag it wherever you need to go. One thing to point out though is when you are dragging it, if you see the little white cloud that pops up, that cloud is actually saying where you can delete that image. And so make sure that unless you want it deleted, don't drop your finger off of that when the cloud's there. If you remember earlier, I took and mentioned the little white line with the video. That white line is really important for this editing trick called split. So basically just split your video in two pieces so that you can take and edit one part of the video or delete part of the video or whatever you need to do with it. You do that by clicking the little scissors at the bottom of your screen once you've selected. So you just press on to whatever you want to edit, and then you press the scissors button at the bottom, and then you hit to the right on the bottom says split. So you're going to hit split, and that will actually just split it right where that white line is. Another thing you can do to edit your video clips is to mess with the speed of it, so you can actually slow it down or speed it up. And you do that by clicking on the little clock next to the scissors, and it'll show a little bar that either has like a bunny rabbit on one side and a turtle on the other. So either move it faster towards the bunny or slower towards the turtle, and that will take and adjust the speed of your video clips. But also, if you have a photo in there, it'll adjust how long that photo is on your screen for your movie. The next thing you can do is adjust the sound for each part of your video. So if you want to make your sound louder from your video, so maybe you had some talking or something like that, you can actually click on your video clip and then click on the little speaker next to the clock and the scissors that we've been talking about. And on that, you can then either turn the volume up a lot or turn it down depending on what you need, but you can do the same thing with your music. So if you click on the music link at the bottom, you can also take and adjust how loud your music is. You can also add text to your videos just to add a little emphasis on there. What you do for that is that you click the T next to the speaker, and then you can pick which kind of text you want up there. There are some different fonts that are preset, but also different placements and how they show up, whether you want them to pop up or reveal or swipe in, whatever it might be. So when you click which one you want, you can then just click where it says to type in your information, and then you edit that, type it in, and it'll now be a part of your movie. The last thing I want to show you from the toolbar that we've been looking at is the filters. So you can take and change the look of whatever clip you're working on to add a filter to kind of change the color of the background, black and white, things like that. When you're happy with your final project, all you have to do is hit done over there in the left-hand corner. With that, you can then rename what your movie, whatever you want to save it as. When you have renamed your video, just hit done on the keyboard, and then it'll prompt you to figure out what you want to do next. And so you're going to share your video with the little square with the arrow pointing out of it. For this case, I actually hit save file. You can also hit export file. And I usually save it as either a medium or HD, depending on what I'm going to do with it. And then your project will then take and start exporting your movie. And so when that is ready, your project will be ready for you to send whatever means you need to. So whether that's a text or an email or some other format, whatever you need to upload it to, that's going to be your next step once it finishes exporting. When your video is finishing exporting, it'll save it to your photo library if that's the means that you chose. And you have completed your very first iMovie. Way to go!